Greetings, citizens, and thanks for joining me here at Smash and Crash. Today's quick look is going to be a Consolidated Outland Mustang lineup. The Mustang series consists of 5 different ships. First off, you have the Alpha. It's your quintessential ship, it's a starter ship, it's a great way to get to know the verse because it does have some decent weapons, and it's very quick, which is handy if you need to run away. Second, you've got the Beta. It's a lot like the Alpha, only like the touring and exploration model. Following that, you've got the Gamma. Now the Gamma is your racer. It's one of 2 racers, it's very, very fast, and it's blue. After the Gamma, you've got the Delta. Went a little out of order, sorry. The Delta here is your combat variant. It is strong, it's got much better armaments, a couple of dumbfire missiles. This is a great little ship for combat. I've had a lot of luck with it, and it's my favorite version. Finally, you have the Omega. The Omega is the red version of the Gamma, which means it's better because I like the color scheme better, but they are about the same speed and performance-wise, exactly the same speed and performance. Sticking with the Omega, let's take a look at its loadouts. First off, it only has 2 Mark III laser cannons, but again, this is a racer, you're not going to see a whole lot here. It has a couple of ACOM Ice Plunge coolers, as well as 3 ACOM Starheart power plants. Let's go ahead and move on to the next racer. The Gamma here is basically a carbon copy of the Omega. It's got the Mark III laser cannons, 1 on each wing, it's got 2 of the Ice Plunge coolers, and 3 of the Starheart power plants on it. In fact, the specs on the website are even listed as identical. Now that we've seen the speed, let's see the power! This is the Delta. The Delta is my favorite because it's much heavier hitting. Under each wing, it's got 1 Badger repeater, so that's 2 Badger repeaters. Plus, under each wing, it has an R-18 rocket pod with a number of dumbfire rockets in there. They're explosive, I believe they're also ballistic, but they are dumbfire, so do not focus on those homing in on anything. Don't rely on those homing in on anything. They are dumbfire rockets. In addition, it's got the unmanned turret up front with 2 Mark III laser cannons on there, and the Mark III laser cannons are just very reliable weapons. Moving on to the Beta. This is the Touring and Exploration Edition. It has a couple of hardpoints on there with no guns on them. The size 1 hardpoints on the wings don't have any armaments, so that's up to you to fill. Then it does have an unmanned turret under the nose with 2 Mark III laser cannons on there. It also has a couple of Frost Star coolers and a couple of Endurance power plants built in there. This is the one that actually has like the bed and such inside, but I can't show you in the hangar because, well, it keeps launching me out. Last but not least is the Mustang Alpha. Actually, it kind of is least because this is the base model. It has size 1 hardpoints on the wings, but no weapons on them right now. It's got a couple of Frost Star coolers, a couple of Endurance power plants, and under the nose, it does have that unmanned turret with the Mark III laser cannons. Once again, this is the base model. It's quick, it's maneuverable, but there's not a whole lot to it. If you're looking for something that's quick, the Mustangs are the way to go. This is the Alpha and the Beta. They have the exact same speeds. They start off at 230 meters per second in space combat mode. They boost to 395 meters per second and top out at a zippy 715 meters per second. These ships maneuver very well on top of all that. So they're fast, they're maneuverable, they're pretty dangerous ships if you can keep from getting hit. The Delta, being designed for combat and really heavy hitting, it's got better armaments, it's a little bit bulkier, is a little bit slower. It hits 225 meters per second in space combat mode, so that's negligible. 380 in boost, so that's about 15 meters per second slower, and it tops out at 700 meters per second instead of that 715. Once again, not slow at all, just a smidge less than the base model. The racers, the Gamma and the Omega, are very quick. They start off in space combat mode at 280 meters per second, they can boost up to 420, and they top out at a really quick 875 meters per second in cruise. Both of these ships have the exact same speeds. They're basically, again, just carbon copies of one another. Let's go ahead and put a bow on this and wrap it up by checking out some of the combat. I'm not going to get into the racing because I'm not a great racer, and while it may be fun for you all to watch it, it's just a lot of crashing and exploding for me to record and put up here. So, as you can see, they all have the same loadouts except for the Delta. All of these things are rocking the 2 Mark III laser cannons, whether it's on the unmanned turret or the wings, depends on your model. And then the speeds and maneuvering are pretty much the same. The Alpha and the Beta are fairly quick. The Gamma and the Omega are very, very fast because they are the racers. The Delta isn't a whole lot slower, but it's built for combat. as you can see, they all are pretty small, and right there, the Delta just demonstrated they can't take a whole lot of damage. Even though that one may be a little bit better armored, I'm not sure how the armor is going to work out in the final version. But either way, the shields and the armor may be a little bit better than the other ships when it's all hashed out. The fact of the matter is, these are small ships built for attack. They are not meant to take a beating. They aren't tanks, but they can certainly do some damage. If you stick and move, you stand a real chance of defeating just about anybody you're going up against. Don't forget, the Delta also has the rocket pods. It's got the 2 repeaters, plus the Mark III laser cannons to help eat up shields and such. And those rocket pods, when you get in close, fire a couple of those off, you can tear somebody up. They're R18 pods. They have R18 is the number. There's not 18 different pods, but there are 18 rockets under each wing. So you have a total of 36 rockets that you can fire, and they're dumbfire, close range preferably, but you can get them going at a distance. Just make sure not to waste them because it requires some aiming and some timing that yours truly doesn't have. So I get real close when I use them. Either way, all of these ships are very, very good ships for what they do. They're quick, they're versatile, they handle very well. As long as you're not planning on, I don't know, going face first into combat and hoping for the best, these are a good way to go. And if you are going face first into combat, learn how to do things like move and strafe. Those are really valuable tools in here. So that's about it for me. Thank you very much for joining me here at Smash and Crash. If you liked what you saw, please share it. Let me know. Tell your friends, your family. And if you didn't like what you see, tell me. I want to know what you want to see. Thank you very much. I will see you in the verse. Ah, dang it.